What up, what up? Winbush here, and today I'm excited to show you guys my workflow for working with Unreal Engine and After Effects whenever I'm working with EXRs. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So as you can see right now, I have Unreal Engine 5 opened up. I have a project that I worked on last year. It was for The Legend of Korra for Nickelodeon, and you can see I built this scene out in Unreal Engine. Really simple move because it was just for a box set. So if I hit play, you can see I have a camera crane that kind of just swept around the box art right there. And so from here, what I'm going to do is actually click on this clipboard, and that's going to bring up the movie render queue. So in here, I'm going to show you guys some multi-pass rendering that we could do. I'm going to actually leave this as a JPEG deferred rendering. I'm going to leave that as is. But if I come over here to settings down here at the bottom, we have some options for multi-pass rendering. So maybe I'll just do like 2 or 3 just for this example. So I can add detailed lighting. I'm going to add lighting only, and let's say reflections. And so the next step from here inside of output, I'm going to leave this at 1920 by 1080. I'm going to make the folder for this to render out to. I'll just do it to my desktop. I'll just name this one Legend for Legend of Korra. Hit select folder. And then from here, actually, I'm going to delete the JPEG because we want to do an EXR, right? So come over here to settings, come down here to EXR sequence, and we want to make sure that we have multi-layer check mark. And I'm just going to leave the compression as is. So basically, it's as simple as that for Unreal Engine. And so the next step from here, I'm just going to hit render, and then we're going to bring this into After Effects. And I'm going to show you how we can extract all this data just for one EXR set. So I'm going to click accept down here, hit render local, and I'm going to let this fire away. There we go, quick and easy. And so now from here, I'm actually going to open up After Effects, and I'm going to bring this EXR data into AE. And while I'm using Unreal Engine for this example, this process will pretty much work with any DCC that you're using. So whether you're using, like Blender, Cinema 4D, Maya, as long as you can render out the EXR sequence and have multiple passes within those, you'll be able to use this workflow. But again, I was just using Unreal Engine for this example, but feel free to use any program that you want. And so now we have After Effects open, the latest and greatest. And so what I'm going to do is hit Control-I on my keyboard, and I'm just going to import the EXR files. I'm sorry, I'm working with dual monitors, so sometimes stuff opens up on the other monitor. But I'm going to find my EXR sequence right here. So I'm going to click on this, the first one. I want to make sure that this is clicked on, open EXR sequence. If you have this clicked off, it's only going to import one image, not the entire sequence. So make sure you have that box check marked on if you want to import the entire sequence. And then from there, I'm just going to click on import, and there we go. So now it's in here. I'm going to right click on this, and I'm actually going to come down here to interpret footage main. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I know for my project out of Unreal, it was 24 frames per second. So I just want to make sure I'm working at the correct frame rate here. Then I'm going to hit enter. And now I'm just going to drag it down here into my composition window. And there we go. So now we have it here. I'm going to move these pans over a little bit. I know we're a little bit squished in here because we're doing 16 by 9. Traditionally, I work at ultra widescreen. Let me make this fit the 100 like so. And so from here on my side where it says effects and presets, I'm going to type in EXT, and I'm just going to look for Extractor. It's down here under 3D channels. So I'm going to click and drag that into my layer right here. And as you can see, it went a little bit darker, but if I actually pull this over under here, under my effects panel, you can see under layers, it actually has all the different passes that I've rendered out of Unreal. And again, if you're using other 3D programs and you render out different multi-pass rendering in here, these are going to show up in this panel here. So if I click on like detailed lighting, you can see now it's only the detailed lighting pass there, which is really cool. So if I click on this again, do lighting only, you can see that we have the lighting only pass in here. And then again, reflections. So this is going to bring in just only the reflections pass. And then if I turn it off, we have our regular pass here. So the way that I typically work is I'll come down here on my layer, hit Control D, and then let's say I want to have like a detailed lighting pass on here. Make sure I have this turned on first. So I'm going to do detailed lighting, and then you can come down here into the different modes, kind of see what plays nice with your scene there, and just kind of scroll through. And if I hold down shift and hit the plus key, I can actually go through some of these blend modes here. Let me actually make this a little bit larger. But I like messing around with these until I find something that makes my scene look nice. You might want to go in, add some levels and things of that nature. Let me actually turn this back on. Come down here to reflections. Maybe move this down somewhere around there just so we have a little bit reflections. I can add some of the background back in. Maybe I just make it solid. Let's make it blue like so. Something around there. And this is a tip too. If you ever have like this weird outline, maybe on your alpha here, if I click on, I'm going to turn off reflections. I'm going to click on my bottom layer right here. And I'm actually going to come into my effects and presets and type in min. And this should bring up Minimax right here, Minimax. I'm going to drag this in here like so. And where's this channel? I'm going to come down here to alpha. Then I'm going to start to scroll these over. Actually, operation, I think I want to do minimum. There we go. So it's going to kind of squeeze it in there a little bit, almost like it's choking it. Hit don't strength edges like so. So we get rid of some of those edges as well. Then I can turn back on my reflection pass. And there we go. So basically, I want to keep this short and sweet. I just wanted to show you guys how we could take all the information within the EXR file, bring it into After Effects, and manually pick out what you want there, which will save you a lot of space when you're rendering. You don't have to render out each pass separately. Again, just compress it all into one EXR sequence, and you should be good to go. So hopefully this quick video helped you guys out. I know a lot of people ask me whenever I do multi-pass rendering, how do I do it? Because whenever they render stuff out, they might do it as like a PNG sequence, which is going to render every single pass out separately, which can make your file sizes extremely large, especially if you're doing long sequences. So my advice is record everything into one EXR pass, and then when you're inside of After Effects, do all your compositing, but just extracting that data. So if this did help you out, make sure you leave me a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until next time, stay fresh, keep creating, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'll see you soon. Take care. What up, Winbush here.